Hello guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Uh, Hello guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Yeah, today we'll be going through Kali Linux and its tools. Yeah, we'll be learning some terminal commands of Kali Linux. If, for instance, you have a dream, or maybe you want to have a career in cybersecurity or security information or system security, yeah, Kali Linux is very important. Yeah, for you to know some basic commands of Kali Linux, so that maybe because Kali Linux, it has security, it offers a lot of security tools. Yeah, so most security analysts, pen testers use Kali Linux. So it will be nice for you to know some basic commands of Kali Linux. A career in cybersecurity or pen testing or maybe system security, yeah, currently actually it has a high employment rate. Yeah, it is 12% more than any other career, because for instance, if today a company has been hacked, 10 more jobs will be advertised. For instance, like recently, the Citizen TV, the YouTube channel actually was attacked. The YouTube channel was attacked. So let us see. Let us see. Citizen TV. City. YouTube channel hacked. Yeah, account to hackers on Monday, March 28th. Yeah, it was up. So for instance, I know there was some advertisement for job, because if there is an attack there, there is a position for cybersecurity experts and pen testers experts. So if you are interested in cybersecurity, yeah, be consistent with Linux. Yeah, try Linux, then you start learning, then yeah, cybersecurity now. So yeah, let us go now directly to our today's topic. So yeah, Linux and Unix, they have several distros, and those distros have their specific task. For instance, we have the Debian, that is maybe Ubuntu, Linux. They're just the same. If you're either using Linux or Ubuntu, they're just same. Ubuntu is a general purpose, while Linux is for pen testing or security. Yeah, it's specific to security. So either you're using Ubuntu or Linux, yeah, this tutorial is for you. Okay. Oh yeah, and we have the Red Hat. We have many others. So yeah, let us begin with basic things. For instance, like adding a user. How do you add a user to your system? You just open your terminal. Yeah, you just open your terminal. For instance, this is the terminal. Just say add the user. For instance, Peter M. So Peter M. So click enter. Though I'll need to have the sudo permission. So I'll say sudo add user Peter M. The password. So maybe I can say, maybe let me put a password like you can click enter. Yes. 2. So I've already added the user Peter. So I can say switch user Peter. So you see, I've logged in. So adding user is very, very simple. You just type the command add user. That's the the simple command we have. You just type add user, and then you type the name. You type the name, for instance, say new user. Then if you click enter, then it will ask you to input the password, yeah, and some information like the first name, second name, contact, house number, those addresses, okay, room number, work phone, home phone, and other. And it's not a must that you insert those value. You can decide not to insert the values. So if you want to log into that user, you just say switch user, SU, switch user. For example, we have added new user. Just say switch user, new user. Then it will ask you for the password. Okay, so it's very simple. So Linux maintain, we have different types of users in Linux. We have the system users, or yeah, those who run the non-interactive or background processes on the system. Then we have the regular users. For instance, like I'm in an account called Abel. So Abel is just a regular user. I had the account that we've created before. Peter M is still a regular user used for logging in and running processes interactively. Apart from those two types of users, we have what we call a super user. A super user is the root, is the person, is the user with super permission. Yeah, he can do anything. He have the permission to override anything. He have the permission to add other users. He has the permission to delete other users. We call him root. Yeah, we have in Linux, we have what we call root users. Every Linux system has a super user called the root. Okay, and this root user has all the permission, has the permission over every files, has the permission over every user. And it's not good to log in as root, because once you delete a file, you cannot be able to recover it once you do. So it's a good practice. Even if you have the permission to access the root user, don't log in as a root user. Create another user, then give it the sudo permission so that it can execute commands as root, but don't log in as root. For instance, if I want to log in as root, I just say switch user root. Then it will ask me for the password. Switch user root. Password is yeah. Now I've logged in as a root user, though it is not advisable to log in as a root user. Now, so that was about users. Yeah. So next time I'll show you how to add the sudo permission to a user. Okay. Another command is, yeah, how do you display, how do you navigate from directory to directory? How do you know the directory you are? In the first place, let us see how do we know the directory that we are. So if you want to see the command to see your directory, the current directory, you just type the pwd, print working directory. So for instance, let me give myself the sudo permissions. So let me be into. So if I want to see the current directory I'm in, I'll just say pwd. Yeah, it's saying I'm in home, then Abel. Okay. So if I want to maybe to navigate to another directory, maybe I want to see what is in Abel, you use what we call listing, ls. You just type ls. So that is ls, as you can see. Yeah, ls, it will display all the files that are in Abel, the folder Abel. Okay, we are in home, then we are in user Abel, then in user Abel we have all these files. Okay, so if I want to go maybe to desktop of Abel, I'll just say cd for change directory, then I type the place where I want to go to desktop. desktop. Then you see, now I'm in desktop. So if I say I print pwd, it shows that I'm home Abel desktop. If I want to see what is in there, I can just type ls. As you can see, yeah, show the things that are there. If I want to go back, what if I want to go now back? I'm in the desktop, but I want to go back maybe to Abel. I just type cd and 2 dots. It has taken me one step behind. Okay. What if I want to go to the root directory? Just type cd. You see, pwd. I'm in root directory. I can also ls. Okay. Then ls, it has some options, yeah, or arguments. ls has some options and argument. So we have what we call ls hyphen l long, listing long, which prints even the hidden files. So if we go to our current to the directory that we were, that was home Abel, then yeah, that is it. If we go there and we ls, we can see what we are seeing. So if I try to type ls minus l, you can see it's long, yeah, listing long. So it has different parts. This one, the first letter D, as you can see, D, hyphen D. Those the first line. It shows the type of file. Okay, the type of file. Then this, it shows the permission. Yeah, this is show the permission of the user. In this case, our user is Abel. This is the permission of user Abel. For example, this directory called compact, or this directory called desktop, Abel has this permission to read, write, execute. Okay, has the permission read, write, execute. Then the second one is the group. Yeah, the group that Abel is in has the permission to read, but not write and execute. Then the root user has the permission to all other users have the permission to read and execute. You get it? So that's how it is. That's how permission are. So I'll show you how to change permission. For instance, maybe you are programming, maybe you are writing, maybe for instance, a script, and you want to run it. For example, this is script. For instance, this script, Python script, bash script. As you can see, my first script was sh. For example, you want to run this thing. You cannot run it unless you change the permission to have the execute permission. As you can see here, read, write, execute. For instance, want the group also to have the same permission. It is good for you to understand these permissions, groups, and this. For instance, let's say you are in an organization whereby you have programmers, whereby you have networkers, whereby you can create such groups. Yeah, you can create people who are programmers in their own group. We can create people who are networkers in their own group. We can create a group of all those people who are in security, so that they have their own files. We can access their files actually, but maybe we are restricted, maybe not to read, not to write, or maybe not to execute. Now so it's very, very important for you to understand. So we'll go through one by one as we see them. Then we have ls has also another extension called ls minus l minus a, the hidden files. As you can see, for instance, the double dot and the single dot that we saw, that it allows us to go back. This one and you can combine them, ls minus la. You can still combine them. The second command is, how do you create a folder? For instance, let's say ls. We can see. So let us create a folder that's called basic Linux. So how do you create? To create a folder, you just create this statement, make directory. Make directory, then the name of the directory, learning Linux. So if we ls, we'll see learning Linux, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it is learning Linux. Now we can navigate to that folder, cd learning Linux, ls. So it's empty, it doesn't have anything. So that's how you create a folder. You use the word make directory, and make directory has also some other, it has some other option. Yeah, actually we can use with maybe you make directory minus help. Yeah, so in Linux you can, if there's a command that you're not go, you don't understand it well, or you don't know how you can use it, you just type the command and minus help. So it'll show us we can use minus m minus p minus v. So minus m set file mode, minus p parents no error if existing. For instance, we are creating a folder. For example, if we try to create another directory called learning Linux in the same directory, it will not create unless we use minus p. So it will allow us to create the same folder even if it exists. Okay, you get it? Then have minus v bubbles, print a message for each created directory, set Linux and security context of which created directory to the default type. For instance, if maybe we want to create a long folder, maybe we want to create this Linux we want to create parent child directories. Okay, so that is the basic of make directory. What if we want to remove the same? What if you want to remove the same directory called making learning Linux? So, for example, we have learning. We have learning Linux. Here it is. So, we want to remove it. You just use remove directory learning Linux. So, if we ls, it's no longer there. Okay, so that is the basic of creating a folder or a directory and removing the same directory. So, and if you want to clear your screen, just use the word clear screen. Now let us see now how to work with the text. Maybe text manipulation. Text manipulation is very important in Linux. For instance, Linux is not like Windows. Windows, we have the application like the Notepad, we have the application like Word. In Linux, we have what we call LibreOffice. That's what we use in Linux. And also, Linux provide other text editing features so that we can be able to edit our text. So we can just say, the basic that we have. So the first command that we'll look is how do you create a file? We have seen how do you create a folder. So let us see how do you create a file. So let us create this folder learning Linux. Let us create this folder learning Linux. So it is there. So let us cd to that folder. Let us cd to that folder. Let us cd to that folder. Yeah, so we are in that folder. There is nothing there. So let us see how do you create a folder? How do you create a file? Create a file. We use the command touch. The command touch create a file. So for example, touch linux.txt. So if we ls, you can see there is linux.txt. If we touch, then linux.ch touch Linux touch, and you can create many files this way. Linux, Python, Java, blah blah blah. So if we ls, we'll see both of them: Java, Linux, TXT, Python, all of them. So you simply you create. That's how you basically create a file in Linux. Now, what if you want to do some editing? Maybe for instance, let's say it's a text file, you want to do some editing, or maybe it's something. So we have many text editor, like we have VA, Vim, or VI or VI. We have Nano, we have Leafpad, we have Leafpad. These are some of text editing tools that we have in Linux. So Vim and VI, they're somehow complicated. So Nano and Leafpad, they're very basic. So in this tutorial we'll use Nano or Leafpad. So let us use Nano. So let us open this linux.txt. So just say Nano linux.txt. So we are open. This is how it looks. It's somehow simple. So that this is my first text manipulation. This is my first text manipulation. Then to save, you just click Ctrl+O. So you have the shortcuts here. Then you click enter. To exit, you just Ctrl+X. So ls. So we can cut linux.txt. This is my first text manipulation. So that's how Nano work. You can edit any text file with Nano or Leafpad. We cannot say Leafpad. Then we say linux.txt. This is my first text manipulation, as you can see. So that's how they basically work. Now let us look at something else. Let's look at something else. How do you copy files? How do you copy files or move files? So let us move to our directory, learning Python, learning Linux. So how do you move? For instance, let us say we want to move Linux from this learning Linux to, let us make another directory inside learning Linux. Let's say Linux now. So inside Linux, cannot create a directory Linux file exists, or make directory Linux folder. So ls, so Linux folder, as you can see. So we want to move this file linux.txt. This file, we want to move it to Linux folder. So we can copy linux.txt. Then we say we want to copy it to Linux folder. So I've just write directly Linux folder because we're in the same folder. So if for example you are not in the same folder, for example we are moving it to home, we can just say /home, or maybe say /habel, like that, /Linux folder. So if I click enter, it will move. It will have copied that. ls, we can see linux.txt is here, and if we navigate to this cd Linux folder and we ls Linux folder. Oh, it's not here. Let us try again. ls, we have linux.txt. So let's say we are copy linux.txt. Then we say we copy it to build complete. Was supposed to learning Linux, then Linux folder. That is it. So if we cd Linux folder, and then we realize it is here. It is in Linux folder and in learning Linux. So it has created a duplicate. That is the CP copy. Okay, CP is for copy. So what if we want to move it completely? We have a command called move. So we can use move. So instead of having Linux twice, we can use the command move. So for instance, let us ls here, ls. So we have the Linux. So we want to move it. So we'll just say move linux.txt. Then we give the directory. For instance, we say we want to move it to home abel. So let it be there. Okay, so if we ls, it's no longer there. So if we cd to abel, if we cd here and we ls, we say linux.txt here. It is. So guys, so that is, yeah, part one. We'll have part two of Linux commands. I'll upload it on my YouTube channel. Kindly like, subscribe and share, okay, so that we can move forward together. Thank you guys.